When we think about heart health, we often jump straight to medicine, but what you eat is, in many ways, just as powerful. Today, we're going to dig into how your food choices can become one of your best tools for preventing and, yeah, even reversing heart disease. So let's get into it.
Look, the idea of food as medicine isn't just some catchy phrase you see online. It's a real, fundamental shift in how we can approach our cardiovascular health. It's all about recognizing that what we put in our bodies has this incredible ability to heal and protect us from the inside out. So here's the million-dollar question, right? Can the food you eat actually reverse heart disease? I mean, really? For the longest time, the conventional wisdom was a hard no. But what does the science really say? Can you turn back the clock on damage that's already been done?
And the answer, believe it or not, is a resounding yes. This isn't just a drawing or a concept. What you're looking at is the real deal, a coronary angiogram. In picture A, you can see an artery that is seriously blocked. We're talking 80 to 90%. Just look at it. But then, look at picture B. After 32 months of an intense plant-based diet and some lifestyle changes, that exact same artery is clear. The blockage is gone. It's powerful visual proof that food can be a life-changing and life-saving intervention.
Okay, so if food can have that kind of incredible impact, what's the secret? What are the core principles behind eating for a healthy heart? Let's break down the fundamentals.
So, the first thing to get your head around is this. We're not talking about some crazy restrictive diet that you'll hate and quit after a week. The goal is to build a flexible, sustainable pattern of eating. It's a lifestyle, not a short-term fix. And a perfect example of a proven pattern is the DASH diet. The American Heart Association loves this one, and the name says it all. Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. It's really just a common sense plan that can lower your blood pressure in as little as 2 weeks. It's a fantastic blueprint. And really, it all boils down to this. The American Heart Association's big recommendations are pretty straightforward. Eat more of the good stuff, plants, whole grains, lean proteins, and eat less of the stuff that causes problems, like added sugar, tons of salt, saturated fats, and all that highly processed junk. These are basically the guardrails for everything else we're going to talk about.
All right, enough with the theory. Let's get practical. How do you actually build a heart-healthy meal? We're going to put together the perfect plate piece by piece. So the first and honestly the most important rule of thumb starts with this number right here, half. This is the single biggest part of your plate. Any guesses what it's for? Yep, it's vegetables. You literally want to fill half your plate with a ton of colorful, non-starchy vegetables. Think broccoli, bell peppers, leafy greens, carrots. The more colors you can get on there, the better. They're just jam-packed with fiber to help lower cholesterol and all the vitamins and antioxidants your heart loves. Okay, next up, a quarter of your plate. This should be for whole grains. And this is all about making simple swaps. Brown rice instead of white, whole wheat bread instead of white bread. It's that easy. That fiber in the whole grains is a huge help with managing cholesterol, plus it keeps you feeling full longer. And that final quarter of the plate, that's for your protein. The big idea here is to lean into things like plant-based proteins, beans, lentils, tofu, and oily fish like salmon that are rich in those amazing omega-3s. And of course, lean poultry is great. On the flip side, you want to limit the processed stuff like bacon and sausage and fatty red meats. When it comes to dairy, the principle is exactly the same. Go low-fat. Grabbing fat-free milk or low-fat yogurt and cheese, it's just a super simple way to get the calcium you need without all the extra saturated fat that can clog things up. And hey, let's be clear, not all fats are bad for you. Your body absolutely needs healthy, unsaturated fats. So we're talking about things like avocado, olive oil, and unsalted nuts and seeds. The ones to avoid are the solid fats, like butter, lard, and coconut oil. Those are loaded with saturated fat, which is the kind that raises your bad LDL cholesterol. Okay, so building that perfect plate in your own kitchen, that's one thing. But what happens when you step out into the real world? The grocery store, a restaurant. Let's get real-world practical. To win at the grocery store, you need a game plan. And the best one is to shop the perimeter. Seriously, the outside aisles are where all the fresh stuff lives. Produce, lean meats, low-fat dairy. The middle aisles, that's processed food territory, so try not to spend too much time there. And my favorite rule, if it's not on your list, it doesn't go in the cart. Simple as that. Now, for anything that comes in a box, a bag, or a can, this little label is your secret weapon. I'm telling you, learning to read this thing quickly makes you so much more powerful as a consumer. You can make the best choice every single time. So here's the cheat sheet, and this is super important. 1. Always start with the serving size. All the numbers below it are based on that amount. 2. For the stuff you want to limit, saturated fats, sodium, look for a daily value, or DV, of 5% or less. That's your target. 3. For the good stuff you want more of, like fiber, aim high. Look for 20% DV or more. And last, but definitely not least, always scan the ingredients for partially hydrogenated oil. That's code for man-made trans fat, the worst of the worst for your arteries. You want that trans fat number to be 0.
Okay, what about eating out? This little quote is a fantastic mental shortcut. The words on the menu are clues. If you see words like steamed, broiled, or roasted, you're probably in good shape. But if you see fried, creamed, or butter sauce, that's a red flag. And listen, don't ever be afraid to take control of your order. Ask for sauces on the side. Swap the fried rice for steamed. And keep an eye on those portion sizes, because restaurant portions are usually gigantic. Taking half your meal home for lunch tomorrow is a total pro move.
Whew. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. But what's the single most important piece of all this? It's just taking that very first step.
Please burn this into your brain. The goal is progress, not perfection. Nobody's perfect. The changes that stick are the small, gradual ones. Maybe this week, you just swap your white bread for whole wheat. That's it. Next week, maybe you add a salad to lunch. These little wins build on each other and create habits that last a lifetime. And please, don't fall into the trap of thinking heart-healthy food is boring. One of the best first steps you can take is to explore all the amazing flavors that aren't salt. I'm talking about herbs, spices, a squeeze of lemon juice, a splash of vinegar, garlic, onions. These are your new best friends in the kitchen. They make food taste absolutely incredible without a single grain of extra sodium. So I want to leave you with this question. You've seen the science, you get the principles, you've got the practical tools. The only thing left to do is, well, do it. So think about your very next meal. What's one small, heart-healthy choice you can make? That single choice, that's where the whole journey begins.
Okay, let's dive into something pretty amazing, how the food you eat can be a powerful tool for your heart.
So let's get right to the big question. Can food actually heal your arteries?
The answer might surprise you. It's a huge yes. And look, this isn't just a theory, it's been proven. This process is called atherosclerosis. Think of it like a slow, silent plaque buildup inside your arteries.
The wrong kinds of foods can fuel inflammation, almost like rust forming inside those critical pathways.
But here's the incredible part. The right foods can actually help your body fight back and heal itself. Okay, so what exactly does a heart-healthy diet look like? Let's break it down into a simple blueprint. You've probably heard of these 3. They might seem different, but they all champion fresh, whole foods. They all share the same powerful core principles, so let's use them to build your personal action plan.
First, let's focus on what you can add. Think about packing your plate with more of these powerhouse foods.
And on the flip side, we want to be mindful of these. They can contribute to that inflammation we talked about.
All right, knowing what to eat is one thing. Now for the fun part, making it happen in real life.
The nutrition label is your secret weapon. This quick 3-step check makes you a pro shopper.
In the kitchen, simple swaps like these are total game changers, and they can unlock so much flavor.
And eating out? It doesn't have to derail you. These smart tips help you enjoy a meal worry-free.
This is so important. What you eat is just as powerful as the medicine you might take.
So every meal is a chance to nourish your heart, which leaves us with one last question for you.